Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So this is our part 2 of our full stack tutorials. So continuing with our front end part. So in the last video we had done created this and we had a walkthrough regarding our entire project structure, that what all is there in our project. So if we run this program, so it was like this, that it was hello by programming made easy, and it was calling another component that was app YouTube. So if I do remove this or do comment it out, so what that it would be only hello YouTube by programming made easy. So today in this video we would be learning some techniques. First of all, we would be learning about interpolation. Okay guys, so I would be listing down list of topics. Like after that we would be doing property binding. Okay, and if we got time, we would also be covering event binding in this video only. But my main focus is that you all get to understand how the things are being made, so that it might be helpful for you all. So we would be going a bit slow, not that much, but yeah, kind of. So if we see in here, we would be learning this interpolation, property binding, and event binding. So our today's agenda would be of this. So first of all, covering with the interpolation. What means interpolation? So basically here the data we are typing is our static data. Okay, like for example, if I am doing this is my static data. Okay, it is not getting changed or anything from anywhere. Okay, so now what that means is we want something from that, we want our data to be changed. So in Angular we have a concept of TS files and uh, HTML files. So we can have dynamic data. If we define a variable in our TS file, or if we define something that we want to show in our HTML file through our TS file, that can be achieved by interpolation. So here that is termed as string interpolation. So I am gonna in my YouTube only, or let us make another component for that matter. So I would be creating another component. So we would be doing ng generate c for component. Name of the component would be interpolation. Okay, so now your component would be made. So till the time it's being made, I hope you would all subscribe to the channel and do like this video, so as to get further notifications of further coming videos. So yeah, we are made with this, and now this interpolation is here. But if we go into here, nothing is being shown. Let me first of all erase my app component.html. So if we see, we would be getting nothing. So now I want to call my interpolation, so I would be using my tag called app interpolation, and this would be closing. So after this is complete, we would be see interpolation works. That is fine, pretty much fine till now. So now uh, okay, now this page, this app.html is redirecting to our interpolation component. So now I shall close all these, and I would be moving to my interpolation.html. So here I would be first of all showing static data. Hello YouTube, and let us give it some style also. Uh, this would be red. So it is static data, that is hello YouTube. Now we want, as I told you, that we want something that we define in a TS file. Okay, so for that matter, what we are doing is we are taking any variable. So if we take a variable of called data, and we can also do like this: data is hello world by programming. we have created this data field and I want to access in here. So it would not be getting accessed like this way. So now I want is I want to access that method now, or that string variable. So I would be writing in here data in these brackets, these angle brackets, or those curly braces. So if we see hello world by programming made easy, and do subscribe to the channel. So we are getting this part. Okay. So now what that means is this data is not we have not written anything here. We have written in a ts file and it is getting uploaded. See, if we do it like this, uh, and I enclose this data inside this h3 tag, and we can define any style for that matter, because our front end is for styling purpose. So I would be doing color like this. Now if you see, it is coming like this. So this is all your interpolations. This is termed as string interpolation. That means any variable, if you define in your ts file and you want to access that variable in your html corresponding html file, you can do this by using these angle brackets. Okay. Now we would be dealing with binding, property binding. So what that means is, now we would be doing uh, so property binding. So basically, what is your properties? So a simple property can be, what is can be is like your button click handling. Okay, now what in your button click handling, like disabling a button, okay, or enabling a button. Something can be showing a text box, text, yeah, alert on button click, something of that kind can be your properties. So these properties are helpful when for example, like you are creating a login form. Okay, so in that login form you want your functionality to be such that if your input fields are empty empty, so you want to disable your submit button. Okay, so now we would be achieving that. So I would be letting this like this only, and giving certain breaks in between like this one, so that it is good to read. So now, since I think so that we haven't installed Bootstrap into this, so uh, if we want to beautify our buttons also, rather than styling them, we can make use of Bootstrap for that matter. So what we can do is we can go here to Bootstrap, and in here go to get started, and here you can also add in here also your Bootstrap file, but for now I would be just using our direct CSS and JS packages for that matter. So here everything is being defined, that how you are to use this starter template, what all is important in here. So uh, CSS, this is your CSS file, and these are your JavaScript files. So in from here also you can copy down your entire code for that matter. If you don't want that, you can uh, you can directly use your inbuilt Angular command that we would be learning in a minute. And another thing that is, you can customize everything in here. Like if you want something for your layout, if you want something for your component like alert button, alerts, like see, this is simple alert, and the code for this is available right here. Okay, so this helps to eradicate a lot of code, because inbuilt classes are being defined, so you can make use of them. Okay, so we would be going with, not with the copy paste formula, we would be using with our npm package. So npm install bootstrap. So it is running. It would be taking some time to install. Till then we can check out some more, like buttons. If you want, see, variety of buttons are here, and classes are defined. Like this is a primary button, so class is button primary. Secondary, for secondary, success is success, danger is button danger, and same goes on with that. And like you also can have outlined buttons like dangered, so it is button outline primary. Dark sizes, you can have large button LG large, and button secondary button, small buttons. See, disabled state buttons. We would be all working over these. I would be explaining you like these block level buttons like button primary, and we have given a div class for that and styled those buttons. So our bootstrap is installed. So where to check it? Check and go into the node modules. Now search for bootstrap. See, bootstrap came. Now it is coming this CSS, and here you can see a lot of CSS files have been loaded into that. So we want to use this bootstrap. So we have to copy the dist.min.css files, and we have to paste it in our Angular file. Uh, bootstrap.min.css, copy path, copy relative path, and we have to paste it in our Angular, because we want our Angular to know that we are using this. Okay, so this is your entire angular.json file, and in here style.css, here you have to add the bootstrap property, so like this, and it would be these brackets. Okay, from the node modules in the bootstrap dist css bootstrap.min.css. And for your javascript, similarly you will go into node modules bootstrap dist js bootstrap.min.js and paste that in here. So if I would like to yes, okay, so now we want a button, so I would be copying all them. I want all of these buttons, so pasting them. Now let me check. Nothing has been came now. So, see, our bootstrap folder is present in here, and from that css, go to bootstrap.min.css and copy relative path and paste it in that, because sometimes it needs a restart in order to work properly. So yeah, we are having the styles in here also. So we would be doing ng-serve. Okay, not this one. Now it would be running correctly. Remember not to use a backslash before node modules. It would be producing an error. Okay, so we would be waiting for this build to complete, and we would be hovering over our bootstrap.com. So in here you can, like, if you want form, so see, you get a ready-made form created, and from here you can add other functionalities to that form, like confirm identity, password, everything. File input, if you want to upload some files into your database, like some files. Okay, so you can make use of them. And it's running. Is it live? Yeah, it is compiled successfully. And now if we see, all our buttons came into picture, light, dark, everything. Okay, so this was your bootstrap, and just wanted to know that you should be aware of these things. Okay, so now I would be telling you about property binding. So removing this all stuff, now everything is empty now. Okay, now we would be dealing with property binding. First of all, define button. Okay, button is something, click me. So now this class, this type would be button, and the class for this button would be button success. So if we go in here, it is click me. Okay, and if we want, we can have margin top. uh, mm, okay, for that matter, let, if we do something, nothing happens in here. So now since you are working with Angular, so you should always have your console opened. So what you want is, on your click, you want a property to be triggered. So if we are having certain properties, as I told you all, so if I do disabled, now you can see that disabled, nothing happens till now. So when this is disabled is when we want something, like disabled property is true or false. So like something, for example, since I told you about interpolation, so I am taking uh, check is equal to false. Okay, and no, I would be taking this true, and in here I would be passing this check. So your disabled is now true. If you see here, it is it is not being clicked. Okay, so this is your property. And why I have created is, you could also have done here disable true false, but this is not the correct way. Why? Because if you want, you can at in future you can change this to false also. Okay, like it might be anything. For example, if you create another button and on that click you want that this check to be false, so that can also happen. Like for example, uh, I would be copying this, and this type would be danger and not disabled. Okay, and now I would be defining a click functionality in here. Now if you want to define a click functionality, you have to create a function. So I'm creating a function with name fun. So this would be giving me error, because you have to define this function in your TypeScript file. So I would be defining this function in my TypeScript file. So now it is okay. and I would be doing this dot your check is false. Okay, so in here, if you see, this button is not being clicked, but this button is clicked. See, now this button is also being clicked. Okay, so if you want like something of that kind, like in this also I would be line breaks, uh, like the name of this is button 1. Okay, and in here I would be doing enable button 1. Okay, and in this I would be doing disable button 1. Okay, so we are in this. So now what we want is, we want click functionality on this one also, so it would be function 2. I have defined this, and I would be doing this dot check is equal to true. Okay, so now I would be also printing button 1 enabled and button 1 enabled. Okay, and I also want that on the click of this button 1, I want something to show data. Show what I want to show is, I want to show the state of this one. Show. Okay, and this is hello. I am button 1, and log. I would be doing this dot check. I would be yeah, and here I would be printing I am enabled or disabled. Okay, so okay, now what we would be doing is, see, go, like from in here, how to open this is inspect, go to console. See, if this button is not being clicked, if we do this, see, button 1 is enabled. Now if we do button 1, we press on button 1, hello, I am button 1, I am false. Okay, because this disabled property is being false, so it is taking that false. Okay, and now if I do disable button 1 disabled. Okay, and you can see his button 1 is disabled. So this is your property binding as well as event binding. Why? Because we have done these two things simultaneously, because you would get idea how your these things works. Okay, so I hope you do like this video, because in this video we learned about main two things, that is property binding, event binding. You can play with all these kind of things. You can play with cards, you can create a form, everything, and you can have property binding like this, creating a button, enabling that button. Okay, so it is of this kind. So in the next videos we would be discussing more over these, and we would be moving ahead with our two-way binding and other stuff. So till then, have a good day, and if you do like this video, do subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.